You have a countdown?
Yeah, the countdown was up.
Oh, it was so quick. Welcome to Coffee Beanery Sip and Share. It's such a mouthful.
It is.
I'm Lori.
I'm Patty.
I'm Stona.
I'm Logan.
And I've got to read this because I don't know it. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that like button, and share the buzz with your fellow coffee enthusiasts.
Oh, God.
That was
Literally,
so not
no one
awkward.
wants to do any of those things.
I know, and I'm
because of the
supposed
way
to
you
say
said
it
that.
in a warm and inviting tone.
That's horrible.
I know. I don't know. But it was highlighted, so I had to say it. Not like a robot or
I
anything.
had a really hard time not spitting out my coffee when you said that.
Yeah, that was horrible.
that was
Okay, I'm going to practice it. It'll get better. You guys, at least I remembered my name. Half the time it's like, who am I?
Well, I'm just glad we started off being like, oh, is it live? Is it live? Where's the countdown?
I know.
To be fair, we
One
kind
thing
of
we're
always
not
do that, though.
supposed to
I
do.
guess because Brent did the transcript thing, and I guess it says we're talking in German sometimes because we're like, are we
Really?
live? Yeah, it doesn't even say we're talking in English
Oh, my gosh.
because
really?
we're so bad
That's
about
so
it all.
cringy embarrassing.
Well, good morning.
Yeah.
You would never know this.
Or Guten Morgen.
Good
Ich bin
night.
Ausländer.
Good night.
You would think after like 150 times of doing this, you would have the intros nailed down by now.
We don't.
We don't.
We're just as cringy as ever.
We're so awkward. But we remember her name this time.
Congratulations.
So, good morning.
Oh, you're actually drinking coffee out of that.
I am. I wondered if it'd leak out or anything.
Yeah, I didn't know if you could drink
I
coffee out
don't
of
know
that.
what oil they used in that, but I don't know if I trust that.
yeah.
Oh.
She's drinking out of a wooden hand-painted cup that we got in
we
Costa
got
Rica.
in Costa Rica, but I swear
Yeah.
there was bird poop or something in it when I cleaned it out.
Ew, what?
Ew.
I don't know.
You've
It was
got
a
the
little
prettiest one,
concerning.
Sedona. I like yours.
I know,
Look at the
but
stuff in there.
I know it's kind of gross. I cleaned it out. Like,
Oh.
No, that's just leftover oil.
oh, we've got the price tags. Oh, I took my price tag off.
I'm just not going to drink out of mine, I think.
I'm
gonna-
taking a risk. I've got a pretty
Yeah.
strong immune system.
All right, good for you. Good for you.
I don't.
But these
so I
are
won't
beautiful
be doing
Costa
that.
Rica cups because we are going to talk about Costa Rica today. If you joined us a couple weeks ago, we went to Costa Rica to visit a coffee farm, the La Manita Coffee Farm.
Yep.
In outside of San Jose,
It's about an hour and a half south
Costa
of,
Rica.
Yep, San Jose,
Not to be confused with San Jose, California.
which, has happened before, unfortunately.
Our last coffee trip was some of our franchisees. We showed up and we're like, "Where are you? We're waiting for you." And they're like, "No, we're here. We're in San Jose." And we're like, we don't see you. It's like, "Did you fill out your custom paperwork?" And they're like, "We didn't fill out any paperwork." And we're like, "Well, you have to get to Costa Rica." And they're like, they flew from Pennsylvania to San Jose, California.
I mean, an easy mistake to make, right? San Jose. It's the same thing. Easy
So
mistake.
then they had to fly back to San Jose.
Yes, they
Costa
had
Rica.
to fly from California.
Luckily, they were staying a few extra days, so it was
Yes.
fine. I mean, troopers
Yeah,
to
I
fly
love
that
them.
much. They're
Yes.
wonderful.
Yeah, but what a horrific thing to
So this
Oh my
trip,
God,
we're
I'm
like,
not where I'm
make
supposed to be.
sure. So
Yeah.
we're going to talk about our trip, and then
Yes.
we actually brought back some delicious goodies.
Well, we don't know if they're delicious. We haven't tried them yet.
They are very colorful goodies
And because we don't speak Spanish, we
from
don't know what they
Costa
are.
Rica.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So I will read them to you. They are turag,
Oh, your Spanish is so
cocoa,
good. Yes.
coconut cream-filled cookies.
Oh,
I
very
hate
good.
coconut.
Oh, I like
so
coconut. I might like that.
Sponge fresa.
I think there's a C there.
Yep.
Fresca. No, fresa. No,
This
no
is
C.
fresa.
No C.
Galetas con melvesca. So I think it's jelly-filled balls. And mini burritos.
Oh, but not to be mistaken with
Yep.
burritos.
Pina. So I think it's pineapple.
Yeah. that is how you say-
Pineapple-filled burritos.
I don't know that that's what that is, but we will try them.
So
Should be fun.
we're gonna try them
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
But
So
Logan, I think you've got something to share, and I'm not sure. Do you?
he's got photos. But
Oh,
I was
yeah,
going to
we
start
got
by
a
telling you why we
slideshow.
went to Costa Rica.
Oh, okay.
So-
It's your guys' show.
I have no idea
remember.
what's going on.
Every couple of years, we like to take our franchisees, the owners of coffee
getting
beaneries around the
poison?
country, to different locations. Sometimes it might be a coffee farm. Sometimes it might be somewhere else where we just want to get together, share new information, because we really do feel like a family with a lot of our franchisees. I'll say all of our franchisees. That sounds
like
terrible,
that a
right?
lot.
A lot of them, all of our franchisees.
Except for those two.
Yeah, no, except for those two, those weird ones. But we do love them
No.
and to touch base with them.
We're
So,
small, so it's very family.
Yeah. So we had about a group of 28 people that went down to Costa Rica, which was awesome because that's a huge, commitment, to fly. I mean, for us, it was 2 flights. It was, 6 or
It's a
7
whole
hours
day of
of
traveling. Right?
yeah, of
That's
flying.
long.
And I don't like to fly, so not super fun for me. But we decided that we were going to visit the Costa Rica La Manita, the Hacienda La Manita farm. And it was an amazing experience. I think everybody really had a wonderful time.
It was nice. It was arduous. I forget. That's what we have to put a disclaimer in next time. Somebody said to tell us to train because it is it's death defying.
Okay.
I mean, you are on cliffs that are how
So,
many feet up?
Let's start
are
out
we
with
at
just
some
the
point?
drive to get up there, okay? Like just to get up there.
Well, we're in back of these trucks.
Yeah, but okay, that's
It's
phase 2
scary.
is the trucks. Phase 1
Yeah.
is just getting there in these buses. And I'm telling you, if one of these guys driving the buses sneezes wrong, we're going off the edge.
Yeah, you have to be very
Yeah.
vigilant.
There's
you
no
can't.
guardrail.
You can't not
Yeah.
pay
Well,
attention.
there's not guardrails, but there's houses.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
houses
okay,
on the side of
sure.
cliffs, which would give me
Yeah.
nightmares.
Well,
Yeah.
houses on
Yeah.
stilts
And
would
there were
definitely stop
earthquakes
you.
while we were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
just gonna
slight
say,
earthquakes,
yeah, there
yes.
were. They said there's like 30 or 40 like little tremors a day.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
All I'm saying is that
And
I
their
survived
houses
on
are on the
Xanax.
side of.
No lie.
Yeah, we didn't.
Getting up there was terrifying to
I
me.
was dizzy half of the
It's
time.
honestly not that scary.
It's
at all.
terrifying.
She just has anxiety.
Absolutely terrifying.
I mean, you
No,
don't
it was
look down
scary.
the sides because it is a little.
It's
interesting.
terrifying. Yeah.
It's very scary.
Yeah. And Sedona gets car sick.
I mean, I did look
Yeah.
at our drivers, and they're
Mhm.
very healthy men. But I thought if they have a medical incident,
You don't know.
we're done.
You don't know.
I was
Yeah.
contemplating. I mean, how you would get to the driver's seat, but it'd be over.
Wait,
by
you-
the
you
time
had a
got out
I would
there.
contingency
have
plan?
to drive.
Yeah, I was
She
trying.
was thinking about climbing out windows. She was like, if there are bat flies in this bus, I'm sprawling out on
Oh,
the
yeah.
ground.
Yeah, because we had our windows
Protecting
open. We
my
had like an
face.
old vintage bus, and then our driver, which you would have freaked out
Yeah.
because our alarm kept going off because it's very steep
It was
climbs.
just
And
overheating.
our alarm
Oh,
was going off, so
heck no.
but his attention was going to the alarm, and then his attention wouldn't be on the
Mm-mm.
road
No.
slightly.
I'm so glad I wasn't on your bus.
That's why
I loved
put my
our bus.
headphones on
Yep.
and was
And
not
Sedona was
fell
the
asleep.
co-pilot, so she wouldn't get car
no.
sick.
Sitting in the front would have made me more sick.
Yeah, especially because you're in front of the wheels, so it sweeps more. It was the worst spot to sit.
So, anyways, getting to the farm
It was
was a little
great.
scary. And
what
then
was our mighty? What did we call ours? Mighty
Mighty
Rojo.
Rojo.
no, that was
Mighty
the other
Rojo.
truck we were in.
Oh,
that you
yeah,
named.
yeah.
the other one.
Yeah.
We didn't name
But
that
we
one.
did get lost on the way, and the buses went down weird roads. I had to
Yeah.
People's
call
driveways.
our contact who sent a motorcycle out to get us and take us back to the farm.
But the farm is absolutely gorgeous. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
probably have pictures
Really
of the hacienda.
Yeah.
It's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if we
we'll
want to
show
get
you.
in.
yeah let's
to
go
it,
into
Yeah.
the
we
pictures
can
and we can talk
about
through it.
Yeah.
what's going on.
So these are the farm trucks that we stood in the back of. These are the trucks with the higher sides. The truck we were in had the
It
lower
had lower
sides.
sides.
Our little
Yeah.
red
Well,
truck.
because on the when we get to the coffee farm, they make switchbacks. They have to make switchbacks because it's very steep
Yeah.
where the coffee farm is. So we have to get on trucks and on these very muddy, ruddy roads
Yeah.
to get us down. When I went one time, it was very muddy.
That would have freaked me out.
And the roads were kind of washed out. Yeah, you would have freaked out.
Yeah, that's-
And that was that was a little more treacherous.
I like going
for
during
sure.
picking season when it's
But
dry.
there's only 1 week a year where the coffee trees flower, and it smells like lilacs. And my daughter and I, London,
Lilac.
it just happened to be there during
Lilacs.
that time, and it was really special. It was a special time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically you're in the back of these trucks for like, I don't even know how long, 40
Hours.
minutes.
Okay, so can I just tell you that my Fitbit went off the next day and it told me that I had gotten 125. I achieved the roller coaster award, and it said that I climbed 125 flights of stairs, because when you're in the back of these trucks, it apparently feels like you're climbing stairs. And of course, you're ducking because there's branches in the
The
way,
one
too.
time I ducked, this wasn't bad. They had the trees pruned, but one time I was up and down like 300 times. I'd done like 300 squats. This time it wasn't nearly
It's good
that
for
bad.
the booty, but
It was pretty crazy.
not good for my anxiety.
My watch thought I was riding a bicycle.
Oh, really?
Riding a
Yeah.
bicycle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. And the last time we went, a guy almost went overboard.
Yes.
And Patty grabbed him and I grabbed her.
Yes.
It was like a train.
I hooked a leg.
This time, Luis, I had braids in, so he's like, "Okay, I'll just grab your braids." And we had contingencies how to grab everybody, so we wouldn't go overboard.
I don't know how the people standing on the sides feel like, because like I'm always in the front holding on. I don't know how you can be on the sides and feel safe.
I was getting banged up pretty bad on the side, but it was fun.
Yeah, no,
It was fun. I have balance.
I guess I just don't like adventure.
So maybe Logan, you can explain this.
Yeah, so basically this is the nursery. So the La Manita farm that we buy from, they run a 5-year cycle of plants, and then they don't have any coffee trees that are older than 15 years because they start to get diseases and production drops off.
Mm-hmm.
So basically this is 100,000 little coffee plants.
These are little coffee
that
plants
they were
in rows.
planting to replace all of the ones that were aging out.
Yeah.
These are all little coffee plants.
Yeah.
On the sides of it, it doesn't look as aggressive it is, but it gets pretty aggressive up in the mountains.
Yeah. I mean, because obviously, like I think we've said before, that better coffee grows at higher altitudes. So that's why we're in the mountains.
Yeah. How high up were we?
So we were at 4,500 meters.
Yeah. Above sea level.
Yep.
Here's Lori.
Aw, planting my little coffee tree.
So this is pretty cool. If you've never seen a little coffee tree, this is a picture of one, and then this is Lori planting one. But they're really cool little plants. They're like really waxy looking.
Yeah.
And they get pretty big.
And these were already grown like in the nursery, and then we were transplanting them into their other thing. It was an unusual harvest. They got a ton of rain earlier, like November.
Yeah.
And so their harvest happened really early. Like we went 2 weeks earlier than we did last time.
Yeah. So 5 years ago today, we were in Costa Rica.
And the harvest was already done. So it was an unusually early, because usually we would have gone and picked coffee beans, but the harvest was so early this year because of the unnatural rains that they had. They actually lost a lot of their yellow
Couture.
So they are not going to actually plant that anymore because it's very susceptible to rain. So they're actually going to stop even planting that because it's so susceptible to rain. So it was very interesting. So instead of picking coffee, we planted trees, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So this picture is actually, you can kind of see how steep, like that whole mountainside is covered in coffee plants. Then you can see the trails weaving up and back.
And those are what we took the trucks up.
These ones are very mild compared to the ones that we were on.
Yeah.
Because these are more like main roads. But that entire hill is just filled with coffee plants.
Yeah.
And then here's a picture of the actual coffee cherries themselves.
And you can see why they have to keep going back up and picking the coffee cherries, because they only will pick those red ones. So they have to continually go up. So they only pick the reds because it's hand picking. So they pick the coffee cherries and then they have to start at the bottom and then go pick the red ones, because those green ones will turn red, and they can't pick the purple ones, will be like winey or fermented tasting. So they can't pick those. and they can't pick the green ones because those will be underdeveloped and won't taste good. And then you'll see later in the processing, if they do pick the green ones, they'll float and they won't be good and they won't even process.
Yeah, I mean, they'll pick them all at the end eventually.
Yeah.
And that's what they will use for like the coffee they drink in Costa Rica.
Yeah, the
like
local Costa Ricans drink it. Yeah.
But that's not what they sell. They only sell the good ripe ones.
When we did the cupping of that one, what did you guys think of the unripe?
I didn't taste it because I smelled it, but I didn't taste it because I know it's going to be horrible.
Yeah. They took a video of me tasting it because they knew I'd be dramatic.
Yeah,
it was gross.
It's not that bad. It's just gets like really like fermented fruity.
It's gross.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I smelled it and
Yeah.
knew exactly what it was going to taste like.
Local Costa Ricans liked it. We did not so much. That's the group.
Yeah, here's the group of people, and then the mountains in the background. And again, these mountains from top to bottom are just covered in coffee plants.
Mm-hmm.
So
I miss everybody already. Oh, great.
Oh yeah, and here's some better pictures of trees. As you can see, like the fully grown 5-year-old trees are, over Patty's head. So, they're like 4 feet tall.
Taking my selfie bombs and putting these in here. I mean, come on.
And then here's a 2-year-old plant on this other side.
Do you remember how long they said they take when they prune? Like how often they prune?
They prune a row every year.
Yeah.
So they're on a 5-year cycle. So one will be fresh pruned, then a year old, 2 years old, 3 years old.
Yeah, that's crazy that they have to cut it back like completely like that.
And then it's interesting because they don't prune. I mean, I would think they prune one row every year, but they don't because they want the shade of the coffee trees for the next. So they actually skip rows and come back.
Mm-hmm.
So they've got a very systematic way to do it.
Yeah, the group shot is beautiful. There's more nice ones, Bill. Wait, you'll love them.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to post some of the pictures that we wouldn't post on our main stuff. We can post in the VIP group or something.
Yeah, I posted some while we were gone too, but I'll post some more.
Yeah, there's one picture I got of like one of the girls in daycare that's super good.
Oh, I love those babies. We'll talk about them in a minute though.
So this is actually the milling plant. So after the coffee is grown and picked, it all comes in these trucks into the milling plant. And
it's collected daily. So the coffee's collected daily.
They pick all day, process at night.
It's awful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it smells disgusting.
Yeah.
It smells like
And they said they
diapers.
processed 5 trucks that day. And the most they've ever done, I thought, was like 23 trucks in a day. And that's like at the peak season. And that whole back of that truck is filled to the brim with coffee beans. Yeah. So crazy.
So basically they dump the whole bed of coffee into it's like a certain volume. They measure it all by
the
volume.
green.
I was gonna say like
the green
bins,
bins.
but I don't know. Yeah.
Yes.
Drew will be mad that we don't remember, but sorry, Drew.
I'm pretty sure it's a finca.
Yeah.
So they and then they dump it into this big hopper that's filled with water, and then it washes down these channels, and the bad beans will float and go along, and the beans that
Good
are
morning, Charles.
better quality and denser
Charles.
will sit at the bottom of these channels.
And it was interesting because that green, it's the same everywhere. So that's the same metrics for every.
Yeah. Yeah. And then it goes through a bunch of different sorting machines. Like this grate kind of catches all of the floaters and the bad beans. And then the other ones sink and fall down into this trough that's filled with water, and it's carried down to the depulping and the other sorting stations.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I've been to quite a few different farms, and it's interesting how they do it slightly different, but it's yes.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a machine that takes off the cherry and the pulp, and they change like the size depending
because
on
there's a skin, just like if you imagine like a grape. So there's the outer skin, and then there's the pulp. So it's sticky, like a grape. When you open it up, there's that sticky mucilage inside of it that you need to get off of it so that you can get into the seed of which is the coffee bean.
Yep. And so they were running third quality when we were there, which is nothing that any of you guys would drink. But
because we don't sell it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why the colors are all crazy, and they're not like bright red, really nice beans. So basically they change the size between these two rollers, and it squeezes the cherry and the pulp out, and just the seeds go into a trough and get carried out to the fermentation tanks.
That's really interesting, Bill, because that's what the franchisees' takeaway too was. After leaving this, they said, I can't believe, everybody says, $14, $15, $16 for 12 ounces of coffee seems like so much. And after seeing the process of the coffee, they're like, I will never complain kind of about the cost of coffee, because it seems like it should cost like $30
Yeah.
after just seeing the love and attention that goes, especially for the first quality coffees, or all of the care that goes into coffee. That was really everybody's biggest takeaway, that they had no idea just all of the love and care that goes into coffee when it comes to them. Because if you see those coffee trees, the yield is 1 pound of coffee. And it takes 3 years for that coffee tree even to develop enough to have coffee on it.
Yeah.
And then think about the picking, like to continually have to go back up there even to get the yield off that coffee. And then this is just the beginning of the process. It's pretty crazy just how much love and care goes through it. And to see it is it's really such a gift and a blessing to be able to see it firsthand. We love going on these trips, and sharing it with other people is pretty cool too.
Yeah, and it's not like, it's hard to tell from the pictures, but it's not like the grade of the hills. Like they grow on like 75% grade.
Oh my God.
Hills. Like my mom's screaming at us to stay away from the
Okay,
edge.
but like I don't
She's
even
freaked
understand
out.
how
I
they
freaked
get
out.
off the side of this mountain, because like we were trying to take a picture, and so then Houston's, obviously adventurous self decides that he's literally going to like hang off of it. She's freaking out, rightfully so, because if he falls, he's just gone off the side of the mountain.
You're dead. There's waterfalls on the sides of these cliffs.
Like
they're
sheer
cliffs.
cliff waterfalls.
Even where you saw me planting that coffee tree, which it looks like I'm just on this little tiny slope. No, it was pretty steep where we were doing even the coffee trees, planting them.
So I don't even
get. It's a pretty steep slope.
So how they even pick it, I don't understand. Like
just
it literally is growing like
even
this.
the little
I would
kids
have
at
to
the
be
daycare were
belayed
running.
in and still be. It's pretty.
Apparently,
crazy.
they're all mountain goats because we can't.
I mean, you grow up used to it, but
well, I'm not a mountain goat.
So this is a picture of that first water channel that I showed you with it empty, and you can see where all the beans, there's like 2 different ways they travel. They either float over top or they sink down into these little channels. And then underneath that great sorter, there's actually a giant, like 10 feet deep pit that the ones that are good will sink down into, versus floating and going along into the next stage of sorting.
Because it's interesting, we go there at night while everything's running, but it's very loud, so it's hard for them to talk about the process. And then we go back there the next day when it's not running, and he goes through the process, so we see it both ways. So you'll see pictures when it's running and then when it's not.
So after it goes through the sorters and everything, it goes into these giant concrete tanks where it ferments for like 24 hours.
And it smells horrible. I mean, it's fermenting. It smells like dirty diapers.
It does. It smells like diapers. I think that's the best way to say it.
Something that is such a beautiful, wonderful product, it goes through a fermentation process. So it just, you don't expect that smell, I don't think.
No, you don't. No,
but I mean, it helps. It brings out the flavor and the
sugars. It does. And you need to get rid of all that stuff on the outside too.
So after it goes through the fermenters, there's like this big concrete channel with these metal dredges that pull it out into the concrete beds, where it'll either get bagged and brought to dryers or laid out and sun dried. And this thing is pretty cool. And the amount of coffee it goes through is crazy.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how they reuse and recycle everything. Like they are so efficient in everything they do. They even have a what do they have? A hydraulic or a water. What do they have on site that they recycle?
About the hydroelectric.
Yes.
Oh, the thing that was spraying the water.
Well, they reuse all the water.
They reuse their water.
Yeah.
But they also, all the power comes from hydroelectric. So they
Yes.
have
Yeah.
a hydroelectric generator. They own 2 of them that are
Yeah.
on the mountains that
That
they get all their
so
power
that they
from.
use all their power and they're I mean they're very sustainable. It's
Yeah.
very fascinating.
Yeah.
So this lady right here, this is the dry bed that they have. Not a ton of coffee from them gets put on the dry bed, but if it does, they want the coffee to get to like down to 13 to 11% moisture. So they'll lay it out, and this lady will literally just rake it all day, every day
All
until
day.
it gets down to that moisture.
And like 85 degree. I mean, it's 85, I think, when we were there. So that's what she does, just back and forth.
Yep.
And then she marked it off.
Mm-hmm.
So there's also drying beds. So this is like their super high-end coffee gets laid out on these little beds and gets mixed constantly and gets dried out that way.
They had them all over their yard.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they had some that weren't washed either.
Mm-hmm.
But a majority of the coffee actually goes into these big machines. So they have 2 big furnaces, and they take the hot air from these furnaces and blow them through these drums. So they'll dump the coffee into these drums, and it'll spin around until it gets down to that 11 to 13% moisture.
Because they don't want it to mold, right?
Yeah, and it has to just get dry for transport. But if they go too far with it, it'll lose all of its flavor.
Right.
If it's too wet, it can mold or get diseases or other things.
And that's what on our end too, for part of our quality control, we will see the moisture content when we get it to make sure that it's an appropriate moisture content.
But that room is hot.
Yeah, they had an older one that was wood burning. Well, they were they both.
So they have 2 different furnaces. One burns wood, and the other one burns chaff, which is the parchment paper off of the coffee. So they're really reusing as much as they can from the coffee.
Yeah,
which is
they're
pretty
super
cool.
sustainable.
After it gets dried, it'll go into these silos, and basically it just sits there until they're ready to screen it all, which means to sort it by size, and then they'll put it in bags.
There was so much coffee there.
Mm-hmm.
It was like heaven.
Yep. So these are their screens that sort it. So there's bigger and smaller size beans depending on quality. So the bigger beans are the higher quality. They also use for the really high-end coffees, this machine's really cool. It actually has cameras that it looks at every bean going across this plate, and any of the ones that are bad, it shoots a little puff of air and shoots the beans out of
That's
it.
crazy.
So it's perfectly sorted.
It's crazy that it can do that.
Yeah. And then they also hand sort a lot here. It's like for their higher end coffees also. And there's probably 30 women in the room sitting there sorting all day.
And then they have the first group of women sorting, and then that goes to second sort too. Then there's another, was it 4 women?
Yeah.
That is second sort.
And so what they're sorting now are any defects in the coffee that would make it, make that coffee taste yucky. You know, anything that would be a sour note, anything that's less than a perfect bean, which is crazy because you don't get that in just any old coffee. This is very special coffee.
Yeah. Yep. And then all of the specialty grade coffees that we buy are all done to a very similar level of this.
Yeah. I know, Bill, I feel that way too. Like, I mean, somebody's actually hand sorting your coffee. I'm not worthy either.
So yeah, after it gets sorted and bagged, they obviously do a lot of cupping there. So we got to do a cupping of a bunch of different coffees they carry, which was really cool.
Yeah, they did different varieties that were like right down the road. And those varieties were like remarkably how different they were because they weren't even that far away, but they tasted very different.
Completely different.
Yeah. I really liked all of them except for the unripe one.
Yeah.
The unripe one, not so much. They wanted us to taste it, but it's kind of a joke.
I tasted it.
I tasted it, but I didn't like it.
Yep, and it was cool seeing some of the other ones they had because we might actually bring another one in.
Yeah, which one did you like? The Gladiola?
Mm-hmm.
No.
The one I like, we're not going to bring in.
Yeah, I just don't like acidic coffee.
Yeah.
So it was a good coffee. They were all good coffees. They're just not to my flavor profile, but
oh, this was our favorite part. I absolutely love this.
I love
Yeah,
this.
It's interesting. They brought someone out. They brought someone newer in to run their facility or their farm, and they just did this new initiative, and they've opened up 3 daycares to help with educate and with the
Care for the
farmers'
babies.
children. And so we went and visited, and it was really wonderful. This is my husband in blue, Kevin, and this little 1.5-year-old just toddled right up to him,
Like as soon as
grabbed
we
his
walked in the gate.
finger,
Yeah.
just immediately grabbed his finger, led him to a chair, sat on his lap. And this other little boy wanted to climb on his other side of his lap, and she was kicking him. She would not let anybody else sit in his lap. It was just so adorable.
All the kids wanted to play on our phones and our smartwatches.
They were
wanted to
taking
see your bracelets.
pictures.
Yeah,
they just
kept trying to
they
steal
were
my camera.
yeah, it was really adorable. They
Yeah.
were just so full of love and laughter. It was pretty, but what a wonderful thing to know that your kids are just in a really safe, loving environment while you work. And there were only 22 children while we were there, but they have I think you said 150 children there normally
on different places
when they're harvesting and doing things.
Yeah.
So it was really, really a special thing to be able to partake
and they
in
wash the kids' clothes. So they go home with clean clothing. They get
Mhm.
fed. They get bathed. Anything that they need during the day is taken care of by the
And they were
farm.
playing soccer, and they had one soccer ball, and it went over the fence. And I thought, oh no!
If it goes on the side of the mountain, because they're literally on the side of a mountain.
I thought
right?
if you
Yeah.
lost their soccer ball,
Oh
there's
my
gonna
God.
be.
Well, it went over at one point, and they went back down to get it. I mean,
They
just let
did.
the
They
kids
went and
go.
got it,
Yeah,
so
the
it was
kids just
fine.
run and get
And I
it.
love that
Yeah.
the dog. There was some dog that came in. All of a sudden, he snuck under the fence.
Yeah,
and
and he was just like, "I'm with the kids
came
now."
to play with
Yeah.
them. But they were just really sweet
Mhm.
and very sweet kids.
Yeah, they
Patty
kept
found a couple boys to play with.
they
And
kept taking my sunglasses and putting them upside down, and I'm like, oh, I just love them.
so it's a newer program. So we actually they have a foundation. So we actually Coffee Beanery is going to probably be partnering with this foundation. So we're trying to figure out a way, maybe with the Lamanita Coffee, to partner with this foundation.
Oh, I like that.
So we're coming up with something, a way to give back, because I think it's so important to give back to the kids. So we're going to figure out something. We actually, from our trip, are going to be donating to the foundation from Coffee Beanery. But we'd like to do some kind of ongoing program. So I'm sure we'll be coming up with some way to do that. I think maybe similar to how we do with the holiday program, to maybe give part of our Lamanita proceeds to that, and then maybe just put something on our website to give back. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have traveled. When you travel to some of these countries, I think two things really struck me when it's Costa Rica, and it's really nice to take Sedona's 14 for her to go there and see. I first of all feel very grateful. Even one of my sons, he's got a starter home, and even a starter home is luxury to a lot of people in these countries. And you just feel very grateful for what you have and living in America and things that we take for granted here. Looking at living behind bars, and
what she means by that is that all the houses there are behind gates.
Well, they've got gates. But it's beyond just gates, right? There's barbed wire. Like you're living at all those stores. Everything is behind gates and barbed wire, and psychologically, that's got to weigh heavy on you at some point, I would think. Just living behind bars all your life is an interesting way to live.
Yeah.
But then on the flip side of that too is these people might only have a few outfits. And I grew up and we didn't have a lot. My dad worked very hard and we didn't have a lot, but we were very happy. So things don't make you happy. So on the flip side of that, like very grateful for what we have, but on the flip side, things don't make you happy either.
Right.
So I think there's kind of two lessons in that, but it does make you want to definitely give back. And seeing the joy on those kids' faces,
yeah.
you know, they might not have, you know, looking at that daycare, I saw one little stuffy, one soccer ball,
Yeah.
you know, not a lot of toys and things, but those kids were happy.
They were playing
Um,
with water bottles, you
yeah.
know.
But I think that is definitely something that I would like to see what needs could be met maybe there.
Yeah.
And-
Spoil them a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know about Lamanita going into K-Cups, Bill. We have been talking
We
about
have
maybe
talked
doing
about that. Mhm.
doing maybe a little bit more and expanding that side. So
I think that was on Britain's definite list to do.
Amanita is such a good coffee. Like I'm like not even being biased. It's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm biased.
I think that was on Britain's list for 2024 to do. So especially with this initiative, if we do want to put, you know, give some of the Lamanita, do more of an impact for this, that would be a great idea.
They're such a great partner for us. I really like working with everybody at the farm, and they were so like gracious and hospitable to us.
When I
there.
loved, because healthcare is a big concern at the Lamanita
Yes.
farm. They have free healthcare for their workers. And like dental
Dentistry,
care.
yeah.
And they've expanded that because it used to just be for the full-time workers, but they've expanded that to the seasonal workers. And now not only that, but it's for their parents as well. And what they said, that a lot of people, even though San Jose is an hour and a half away, the parents are actually coming to the farm for the health care because it's superior to some of the care that they get in San Jose.
Which is surprising.
Which is not surprising after we went to San Jose.
That's true. That's true. Oh my gosh, that art museum. Whew.
But so that's just really, it's just really nice to see when people take care of other people.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah. And I will say, you know, completely pivoting, the food that we ate there, when we asked our English speaking guide what like the local national food is, he says rice and beans for breakfast, beans and rice for lunch, and rice and beans for dinner. And it's true. They really do have that for all 3 meals of the day.
Yep.
Personally, I don't want rice and beans for a long time. I was not a fan.
Wasn't my favorite at all.
Yeah, but we had really delicious food. I mean, it's fresh seafood, and I mean, their fish was fabulous. We had some really good food.
The problem is too, they use all these sauces and like spicy things.
Yeah.
Like there's different ones at every restaurant that taste different, and the girls don't like any of that stuff.
We don't.
So when you add the sauces and everything else, it changes it up and it makes it, you know,
and I don't want
interesting.
plantains. Like I don't really care for those.
Yeah,
I'm not a pico person. I don't like tomato and onion. So like my palate is like chicken fingers, you know?
Yeah.
I love though some of the history though, and I think it was kind of cool because we learned like where was it that they had, if you had rice and beans like separate, it meant you were single.
Oh,
but if you combined them, you were married.
That was on our tour.
So that it was like they could like identify, like the girls could know who is single and who is married. There was like all these like tricks to know like who they could. And after church, it was like the single girls would go to the left and single boys would go to the right. So they could like, it was all these like matchmaking. Like we need some of that stuff today. So that
it's like Tinder 2000.
It's way better than Tinder.
I think more than that. He was saying guys are just too lazy to cook more than one thing at a time. They would just cook rice and it'd be good enough, but the wife would be like, "No, you like need to eat." Like, here, I'm cooking all these.
I thought it was like that's modern day Tinder way.
No, he was not at all. He was just saying, guys
"Oh my gosh,
lazy.
we didn't try our things. Okay, we have to try our things, and then we can be done."
Yeah.
Okay. What time is it? We're so far over.
Is,
40 minutes into it.
Okay.
So good for a minute. Yeah.
Okay. The sponge Sponge fresa.
It looks like it's like strawberry something.
Oh my gosh.
Smells
It looks like a cookie with
interesting.
snowballs on top of it.
I think they really like coconut
Oh,
is what I'm
You guys,
thinking.
it really does. You know, like the snowballs that you get in the store? It looks like a shortbread cookie.
I feel like Britton
with
should
a
be here for
sponge
this.
ball on
Where's
there.
Britton?
I don't know, Britton, do you want to come try these?
Britton, you should come try our sponge balls.
Okay, do not smell it.
It does taste like a snowball.
Okay.
I've never.
I love
Britton,
this.
where are you?
I'm gonna text her.
I like it.
I don't like coconut.
I like coconut.
I'm a little scared.
Mhm.
Okay.
It's weird though, because you know, like it's like a snowball with like some texture at the end of it.
Britain says
Is
I'm
it-
good.
Is it stale?
No, it's good. I
I
mean,
don't want to try. I'm scared.
it's good.
It's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like coconut either, Britton, but it's
Mhm.
not bad.
Mm-hmm.
She can bring it home to her kids. They probably like it. Oh, it probably
It
has
probably has
red
red dye
5
in it. It looks like it has red dye.
It's not the most flavorful thing I've ever eaten.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad.
I like it.
Is it in Spanish? Can it read red 5?
He's got a Google
Red
Translate on his
40?
phone.
Wasn't it red 40?
Coconut allergy. Damn.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's actually better than it looks.
Yeah. It's just like weird because it's like, again, it's like an actual like
I'm
marshmallow
going to save the
snowball
mini
on top of a
pineapples
cookie.
for last because this is another coconut thing.
We bought a lot of coconut, didn't we?
I don't know. I just bought colorful packages
Mm-hmm.
like a 12-year-old kid.
I bought
I just unpacked from Costa
You
Rica.
bought a white
last night.
package and a
Mhm.
yellow. The only one that's arguably colorful is the spawn.
I bought like my son and I like to do like try different foods from around the country or world, and we have a subscription box, so we bought one of these too, and s'more flavor. We haven't tried it yet though.
I just unpacked yesterday, so I found these. I was like, oh yeah, I bought these. I
This
forgot.
smells like a shortbread.
This
Okay.
one's good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
These are Turek.
Oh.
Coconut. No, they're biscuits.
yeah, that's really good.
This one's good.
Mm-hmm. I really like coconut, so it just tastes like a coconut shortbread. And you know I love shortbread, so I get fat eating shortbread.
You love shortbread.
I do. I mean, it's just butter, sugar, and flour. What's not to love about that?
Yeah, the Lorna Doone.
Oh, it's supposed to kind of taste like coconut.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it's super good.
Okay. Costa Rica, I like your treats better than I like your rice and beans.
I think that seafood feast we had was amazing.
Yeah,
It was like lobster and shrimp.
You guys
and,
had.
a ton of mussels.
Well, I mean, to be fair, we had like steak and
Mhm.
and then we had that other dish at that shrimp stack place.
Mine was just okay though. I had that weird like orange thing.
Mm. I can't remember. I had a lot of fish.
I had Thai.
You had like the fresh fish there. We had capers on it.
It was good. It was fine.
I don't like capers. Like chicken marsala
I
is
don't
really
think
gross to
I've
me.
ever had a caper.
I think it's disgusting. I hate capers. They're like
I don't
really
mind them.
pickly to me.
Oh, I'd be fine with that. I love.
I like
vinegar.
pickles, but I don't like capers. Capers are weird.
I
to
don't
me.
know how this is biodegradable. I mean, isn't all food biodegradable?
Does it mean the packaging is
They make the
biodegradable?
plastic with corn or something.
Mm. I like shortbread
Good thing
too,
it
Deborah.
didn't.
So good.
These are mini burritos.
Well,
So this is shortbread with pineapple.
okay.
They do a lot of shortbreads. So you should like this.
I mean, we'll see. I like pineapple. They do
I
something.
feel like this is practically breakfast food.
Their pineapple there is like, I think that they're like the biggest exporter in the world of pineapple too.
Ooh, this smells weird.
Yeah,
This is my least favorite.
It smells like fig, but bad fig.
It's like a fig Newton. But the pineapple tastes on like an orange taste.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to cleanse my palate with that strawberry thing.
Mm-hmm. It's like an orange marmalade more than pineapple. Yeah.
It's interesting.
I'll take the coconut shortbread over
Yeah.
Yeah.
the whatever burrito,
And
pineapple
it's-
burrito.
It's like not sweet.
Yeah. Like it is, but
It's not.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh. I know I took a second bite.
Do you need me to get a garbage can or are you going to spit it out?
I'm not going to spit it out.
Okay.
I'm going to chase it with a strawberry thing.
Okay. Good idea.
Chase. You gotta chase your candy.
I like it.
No, we did go
Oh.
into the grocery store and bought that chocolate that you really like,
Mm.
Sedona. That really creamy.
I bought 3 more.
Yeah, that was good chocolate. She gave me a piece of hers.
It was really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's Costa Rican chocolate, though.
I don't know
Or if
either.
it's just whatever
I
chocolate.
think
know.
it's just chocolate made in other
Mhm.
countries with real cocoa.
I sacrificed one
Oh.
for your neighbor.
Huh. Did you bring home or try that rum that we brought home yet, Logan?
Oh yeah,
Was it good?
yeah, it was super good.
So last time we were in Costa Rica, we were obsessed with this rum called Florida Cana. I'm not a drinker by any means. Like, I really don't drink a lot, but we had these rum and cokes made with the Mexican Coke, of course, which is obviously far superior. And it was so good. So we went and I bought a 7-year bottle. He bought a 12-year bottle. You
I
got the
bought
coconut
coconut.
rum.
I
Yeah.
just unpacked it last night. It made it home safe.
Yeah, that's good. You
Yeah,
would've-
it was good, but I
Mhm.
tried to take a shot of it. Don't do that. It's sipping rum.
Is it?
Yeah, you don't want to take a
Oh.
shot of it.
Oh, no?
No, it's not as good that way.
Yeah, I
Okay,
really like
those
that
things
rum.
are not that bad.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd eat the coconut shortbread again. That was good.
Okay. Britton, you should probably want some.
She says
Oh,
she's good.
shortbread, yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't like coconut, though.
Oh, it doesn't taste like coconut.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Well, she can
All
try
right,
it.
well-
If she doesn't like it, I'll
I
eat
hope
it.
you enjoyed learning more about coffee. It is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely a rewarding thing for everybody. And I know all of our franchisees said, oh my gosh, this was amazing.
It was super fun to
Yeah.
plant our coffee trees. I hope we get to go back and pick the coffee from our coffee
I think
trees.
we said we go back in 3 years?
That would be like a dream come true.
Yeah. If we got to actually go to our plants.
And I don't even care. If Drew, if you ever see this, just put my sign and tell me it's any coffee tree. I won't remember.
You won't remember unless it's not
just
next to
tell it-
everybody else's.
Just tell me it's my coffee tree. And I doesn't even have to have my sign. Just tell me this is my coffee tree. It was like the 5th one in.
Mhm.
About 5 rows
I
in.
put mine on the edge.
Yours is on the edge next to mine. Yeah.
Yeah. Yours was yours
I said a
next to mine?
blessing over my tree that no snakes or bugs or coffee rust ever touches it. So my tree's
I
gonna be
gave mine a
superior.
little of my
We
water
prayed
bottle
over our
water.
trees.
We
We
did.
blessed them.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
figured it was gonna get a little extra water.
Mhm.
So one thing too is if you guys haven't, go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Britton said we needed subscribers on there.
Go
So
subscribe.
just look up Coffee Beanery on YouTube. You can also watch the live streams there, and honestly, it looks a little bit better than Facebook. So if you guys have YouTube, go subscribe to us because it'll really help us out.
You should go follow us on TikTok too.
Yeah, I guess
Oh,
TikTok.
yeah. Sedona's
Oh.
gonna start doing our TikToks.
Oh, Sedona is gonna be in charge of TikTok.
I'm excited for that.
So, and I guess, and I did my hair a little different because I guess I've only done my hair 2 different ways.
It
You've
kinda-
only done your
I
hair
mean,
one.
let's be
looks
one
fair.
time.
This is all I ever
her
do.
Grammy hair.
Wait, what do you mean? Did it like analyze like how we do our hair?
No, when Britt was doing it, she's like, "You've only done your hair twice, 2 different ways, braids or down.
Okay,
You've only
but
done your hair
To
down."
be fair, this is all I can do. Like
Yeah.
that's all I
I
can
can't
do.
do my hair.
I
Yeah.
did my hair like
I can
Taylor
brush my
Swift.
hair.
She does a braid.
Yeah, she's been doing it.
Next week
recently.
I'm gonna like curl my hair. I'm gonna blow your
my
mind.
I channeled my coolness. I didn't even
You're
know
so
it.
cool.
Your inner Taylor
Yeah.
Swift.
I guess.
I guess
I
so.
guess.
Okay, on that
So.
note.
Have a great day. Thanks.
Bye.